video that a few of you guys have been asking for. About 2 weeks ago I decided to get a different vehicle from the pickup truck that I've currently been using for about 3 years or so now. The pickup truck's great and it served its purpose for what I originally intended it to be used for, which was down the allotment to ferry like horse manure and stuff like that, you know. Also, it come in great for taking stuff down the tip, the refuse place, you know. Also picking up big and bulky items, helping friends and family move house. It really come into its own. And of course, a lot of you guys know the Toyota Hilux, the reliability and the strength it possesses. I've still got it. I will be selling it over the next month or so, and I'm really going to miss it. And in fact, I'll probably cry when I see someone drive it away. It really does mean the world to me, that truck, and I've put a lot of time and effort into it. So it's going to be sad to see it go, but you know, the reasons why I needed a different vehicle is because things have moved on. You know, it's more than one reason, but some of the reasons were since I started my YouTube channel, I've stopped the allotment. It's just taken up too much time, which is fine. You know, I've learnt a hell of a lot. So, you know, I didn't really need a pickup truck to ferry horse manure everywhere. And since then, we've got a couple of dogs. You know, so a pickup truck with 2 seats, 2 dogs, and my wife, it just wasn't cutting it. You know, and practically speaking, you know, going down the shops and getting the shopping, if you're not putting it on the front seat, you know, you're putting it in the back and it's going to roll around everywhere, and unless you're going to modify it and all the rest of it, then it's not very good for what I was using it for. Obviously it's great for ferrying a lot of kit and equipment around, for bugging out survival uses, it's perfect. So we've moved on and we've got ourselves a new vehicle, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So I wanted something for me, my wife, my 2 dogs, something that's not going to stand out, you know, something, because the pickup truck, how it ended up, it was very militarized, you know, and you know, I was getting a lot of attention. Everywhere I'm driving, I'm pulling up at traffic lights and stuff, and everyone's looking. It is a cool ride, but at the end of the day, you know, for the sort of things that you and I are into regarding prepping, the last thing you want is to draw attention to yourself. So I thought, right, okay, we're going to go completely non-military look, and also I'm going to throw it in there. The current threat and the maybe possible looming threat of ISIS in the UK made me realise, sealed my decision really. Don't fancy the idea of driving around in a military looking vehicle only to be, you know, you don't want to know, because it's happened before to a UK soldier, and you know, no one's got a crystal ball, you don't know it's going to happen again, so sidestep that risk and just lose the military look. Okay, so I've just gone for a vehicle which, you know, doesn't stand out from the crowd. So without further ado, let's have a rundown of what we've actually got. There we have it, another Toyota. I think it's fair to say once you've actually owned a Toyota, it's very hard to get something else. Now there were a few other vehicles that I did consider, but to be honest I just couldn't pull away from Toyota because I just love its reliability, and the Hilux has never ever let me down. I've hardly spent any money on it, repairing it. It's just spot on. So I'm sticking with Toyota. I wanted a vehicle which has a common rail diesel engine, so I can run vegetable oil in it. Okay, you know, if times are bad and oil is all there is rather than diesel, it will run on oil, not a problem at all. Currently, when I drove this home from when I bought it, I had it up to 111 miles per hour, which is a lot faster than my Hilux. It's a 3-litre turbo engine. It weighs 2 tons, it's 123 brake horsepower, and it has a 90-litre fuel tank. Obviously you can make them bigger. It's 26 miles per gallon. It has 12-volt outlets front and back, and every single electric item works on this vehicle, and it's been very, very well looked after. I am owner number 3, and let's have a look. And there it is, boys and girls. Yes, it's a Toyota Landcruiser, and only driving this for a few weeks now, I've actually fallen in love with it. So let's have a look around the vehicle itself. Well, I wasn't really fussed about the colour, so obviously I would have preferred it if it was black or green maybe. But there again, you know, maroon, it's not going to stand out from the crowd, and you know, which is pretty much what I'm after. Now, I haven't got any intentions of making this look like an extreme off-roading vehicle, okay? I just want it nice and normal looking without making it look like a lot of money where someone's just going to just drive off of it. That's not what I'm about, okay? So the only things I think I might do is to change the tyres. I'm a big fan of the BFG all-terrains. I've used them on the Hilux, and I've never been stuck in mud once. Driving on the snow is fine, and they go for at least 50,000 miles on all-terrain. So if you will factor in that into driving on tarmac, it's going to go a hell of a lot longer than that. So they're very good value for money, being around £100 per tyre. And it's immaculate, the inside. It really, really is. And as for the interior, the fabric of the seats there, I really didn't want leather. And this is a very nice Volux smooth material. Now, one of the reasons for that, you can actually fold down all of the seats in the vehicle to make one big double bed, and this is very comfortable to sleep on. And if you do put a sheet on there, it's not going to slide around everywhere. And obviously, if you do some off-roading in there, it really does hug you quite well. You know, the last thing you want is leather, because you're going to be flying around like God knows what. So just a quick look inside there. Well impressed. It's been very, very well looked after, as you can see. For the age, it's 19 years old, and it's on a P registration here in the UK. All of the 4x4 options there, obviously, and as I mentioned earlier, every single piece of electrics in here actually works. And we've done what, 153,000 miles. As you probably know, for a Toyota diesel engine, that's nothing, absolutely nothing at all. It's got quite a Gucci sound system, especially in comparison to my Hilux as well. It's very loud and bassy. It's got an automatic aerial, goes up and down, so you don't get all the vandals bending it off when they're a bit bored. Obviously the four-wheel drive stick. I very nearly decided to get an automatic, but this one come up, and I thought, no, I'm just going to stick with manual, because I know my way around manuals. I've never driven an automatic in my life, and you know, the condition of this vehicle, I just had to have it. I couldn't give a monkeys if it was automatic or manual, if I'm honest. And there's loads of room. There really is loads of room. And I'm really digging the fact that it's been well looked after. That was the important thing for me. These always break. You got like a dump bin inside there, so you can throw all sorts in there. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there. I used to put maps in the Hilux, and you got little cup holders and whatnot. There's my EDC, goes with me everywhere I go. So yep, same old thing. Got a glove box up there, airbags, etc. As you see, this it's been so looked after. Oh wow. And it was a tough one, you know, because you know, a lot of the 4x4s have been like hard used, and you just don't know what has been done to them. And the last thing I'm going to do is to drive it for a year and find out there's like hundreds or if not thousands of pounds worth needed just to get it for MOTs, etc. So yeah, it flew through the MOT. The surface was clean as a whistle. Even the brakes are all good, which is a right bonus. And of course you've got some heaters there for people in the back if it's a bit cold. One thing I like about this vehicle, it's so multifunctional. It is designed for expedition off-road, and this whole bench seat, the whole thing slides right forward, giving you massive amounts of space in the back there. And I just love these cruisers. They're absolutely built like a friggin' tank, not exaggerating. So we got the spare on the back. Obviously it's going to be the 5th tyre I'm going to be putting on there. Just love it. And it's a good height as well to work on. It's a little bit lower than the Hilux, but you know, for cooking and all the rest of it is great. We got 2 seats here on the back. When I got them, they were there. I just swung them around and removed them and hung them up out of the way. I am toying with the idea of actually taking the 2 bolts off, one there and one over there, and actually taking them out all together, because in fairness, you know, I don't need 8 seats if I'm honest. So I'm going to move the passenger bench seat forward, give me maximum space in the back. Now, some of these come with tinted windows, this one didn't, which is a bit of a shame, but as I say, because of the condition of the vehicle, it's been so looked after. It's not a deal breaker for me. So I will be getting all of these windows tinted, so no nasty thieving tow rags can look inside of what I've actually got in there. Okay, I'm not really sure if I'm just going to put black sticky sheets on like Armoured Cockroach has. I think I'm just going to get them properly tinted, so you can look out of them, you know. And it's good to have all-round vision. Personally, I think if you're off-roading, it helps. So yeah, that's my bug-out vehicle, as we like to call them. But yeah, it's just a 4-wheel drive, designed for expedition travel. The buzzword is overland, but I just don't like calling it overland. I prefer expedition, old school. And yeah, it's like a proper minibus in there. Absolutely bags of space. And you know, for the speed it goes as well, I'm well chuffed. 111 miles an hour. It probably went further, but I didn't want to tank it because I was on the way home when I actually bought it. So yeah, baby. Well, I've popped the bonnet, or the hood, as you guys in the hood in America call it. And yeah, it's just dust, it's fine. It's not dirty at all. I'm really pleased with you know, the previous owner really looked after it. And you know, it's a man after my own heart. You know, every piece of tool, equipment, clothing that I have, that I've ever had, if I'm honest, I've looked after myself. You know, same old rule, you hear me say it again and again, if you look after your kit and your equipment, it will look after you back, and when you really need it the most, it will be there. If you don't keep things clean, if you do things on the cheap and you budget, you know, be prepared to let it down when you and your loved ones really need it to be there for you. So, yeah, really liking it. And yeah, it's the first turbo I've ever owned as well, and bloody hell, what a difference. 2 batteries, handed of course, because Toyotas like doing that, gits. And yeah, very impressed with the condition, very impressed. I'll say this, there's not even any rust on it, there's no rust or rot. Every time I buy a vehicle, I have my mechanic friend with me. He comes with me, he spends half hour, 40 minutes checking over as much as he can, and I said to him, if there's anything wrong or iffy that's going to be expensive, tell me live as we go. Don't wait till the end, tell me as we're going, because obviously it's ammunition for the deal. And the best thing about this, I actually bought this for £2,900. It's probably $4,000 US, give or take. And the best thing for me, it was only a 40-minute drive from my house. You know, I didn't have to drive God knows how many miles with diesel, and you know, you're halfway bought a car if you go a long way. So to get it local, in good condition, well looked after, and nothing wrong with it, over the moon, absolutely over the moon. So there you have it, people. If any of you are interested in buying similar vehicles, don't be disheartened, they are out there. And in fairness, I was looking for about 2 months, and I'm chuffed that I finally got her. So yeah, I want to try and keep the outside looking the same as I mentioned earlier. Well, of course, as I said, I wanted to keep it looking the same, to not attract loads of attention. But some of the things I'm talking about, like the tyres and a few other things, you know, it's not going to be a massive outlay. Okay, I'm not going to be going thousands and thousands and hours turning it into an expedition vehicle. This is fine as it is, personally. So one of the plans was, before I got this, and the plan was to get a basic one like this, 3 litre, no modifications, no, it's basically simple, good condition, to get my wife interested. And you know, when I showed her, her eyes lit up, so I know she likes it. And I said, I'll put you on insurance as well. She smiled again, so that's positive feedback from my lovely wife. But the plan was, as devious as it might sound, was to get the wife on board, okay? To keep this for a couple of years, so she gets to learn to love it, all right? And then what I was going to do was, I wasn't going to say nothing, I was going to sell it, this was the plan. And then I was going to get the Amazon, which is, I think it's a 4.7 litre, 24 valve version. It's bigger than this, but you know, it's beefed up, and it's probably one of the best expedition vehicles out there. It's got good pedigree, and you know, you're looking at around £6,000 or £7,000 minimum if you're lucky to find one. And of course, you might have concerns that it's been misused, it's been all over the world and gone through lakes and streams and smashed around a bit. So it's a big outlay, and of course it's very, very expensive to run, you know. A 3 litre for me, 26 miles to the gallon is fine. It's better economy than the pickup truck, the Hilux, to be honest. So that was the plan, and I thought, right, once I get the Amazon, then I can spend out, you know, getting the snorkel, rock crawlers, big wheels, big tyres, lift, etc, etc, etc. But after driving this around and getting a feel for this is probably fine for me. So now I'm thinking the BFG all-terrain tyres, I'm definitely going to get those on there because they're just fantastic. And I recommend any of you guys who are new to bug out vehicles, BFG all-terrain tyres. They don't look like big serious mud crawling tyres that stand out. They look pretty cool and they hold their own. They're very tough and very durable, and I've had no problems with mud and snow, so highly recommend those. So they're going to be going on there regardless. The windows tinted, yeah, definitely going to be done. As for the tread plates on there, I'm not sure. My mate laughs at them. He said they're crap. He said if you go over any rocks, you're just going to smash the shit. So I don't know. I'll have to think about, maybe I'll get some 4-inch pipe runners with some checker plate, like I had in the Hilux put on there. It's possible. The bull bar in the front. Now I really want to get some sort of bull bar. Now there don't seem to be any available for these Colorados, and if there are, it's just a very basic pipe that goes up at the front. It's nothing really. I was hoping for something that wraps around the front, gives it more protection around the headlights, etc. But I'll get a feeling that they're only custom made available, and a few companies in Australia do them. But here in the UK, you know, to get a custom bumper that looks like a basic 4x4 off-roader, it's going to be very expensive, so I don't think I'm going to be able to afford one of those. I might even see if I can find someone to make one, but again it's going to cost a lot of money. So I don't know, it's a bit uneasy driving something like this that weighs 2 tons without a bumper on the front. It's a bit scary. So yeah, I don't want to waffle on too much. That's the basic overview of my new bug out vehicle. Stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for watching. Stay funky.